Hello, readers. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Divya. I hope you are doing fantastic. I hope you are doing okay. I hope life is treating you nicely. And if it is not, if you're a little sad, if you are going through a rough patch, don't worry. Take a deep breath. Welcome to my video. And the series that I'm going to recommend today, I hope it is going to lift up your mood a little bit. So grab a drink of your comfort, sit down, forget about reality for a little bit, and welcome to my video. So the series that I'm talking about is very underrated. Why am I calling it underrated? Because I have not seen this series being recommended anywhere. I have not seen it on YouTube, not on Instagram, not on any of the other internet space. I have not seen anyone recommend this. I'm really quite surprised why is this series not as popular as it should be, but I am here to change that anyways. But let me tell you the timeline or the way that I got introduced to this series. Okay, so story time. My sister came across this little series on Netflix, okay, and she was completely obsessed with it. Not only the story, but also the soundtracks. She was like completely mesmerized and obsessed. She have to watch this show. And I was like, okay, fine. What is so brilliant about this? And I started watching it. While watching the show, I had this intuition that maybe this is derived from a book series, but I was not sure because I never heard its name before. But then, while I was continuing watching this show, I came across this blog that was internet article that was referring to a lot of underrated book series. So, reading that, I realized this show is actually a book series. I was surprised. I was surprised that my intuition was correct. I was also surprised that why is this series not popular? Because even if the show was not like perfect, but I was pretty much sure that the books are going to be perfect because I had a similar experience with Harry Potter. I read the Harry Potter series after I watched the movie, and I was surprised by the way the book series was so different from the movie series, because a lot of information is not mentioned in the movie, which I completely understand that it is not possible to like put the entire book in a movie. Totally fair, totally understandable. But reading the books just set a different standard. Okay, they are the standard. The books are the standard. If the show is this good, definitely the books are going to be better. There are going to be plots that I would like to know what happened. So after I watched the show, I was pretty sad that it ended in a cliffhanger, and there isn't going to be any second season to this show, which is pretty sad. And really evil of Netflix. But anyways, I wanted to know what happens, and I was clearly obsessed with the storyline. So yeah, that is how I came across this book series. Now let me tell you the name of the series, because otherwise you're going to click off this video now. Okay, so the series that I'm talking about is the Lockwood and Co series. If you have heard about this series, then fantastic, you are one of a kind. And if you have not heard of this series yet, let me enlighten you, my dear sweet child. Let me do the honors. So, the Lockwood and Co series is about this London, a time in London where ghosts are coming back to haunt the living. And to tackle this problem, there are various agencies who hire agents to do the ghost hunting job. And these agencies basically hire children who have psychic abilities to deal with these supernatural spirits. And there are a lot of famous and big agencies. But this story is about the smallest agency, that is Lockwood and Company. Let me introduce you to the team members. There are three prominent members of this team. First one is, of course, the leader, the dashing Anthony Lockwood, who is basically on the cover. And we have his deputy and friend, George Cubans, who is a book lover and a nerd and has a weird sense of humor, which I love. And we have the last member, that is the bravest and newest member of the agency, that is Lucy Carlyle. These people team up together to make Lockwood and Co. the biggest and the most famous agency of all times. Guys, when I'm telling you that I love this series, I mean it. I mean it with my heart and soul. I have placed this fantasy series right after Harry Potter. So Harry Potter is my favorite, and now Lockwood and Co. stand at the second place. Why? Well, let me tell you. Jonathan Stroud, the writer, he put some crack in there and got me obsessed real quick. There is humor, there is story, there is friendship, there is a cute little love story in there. Um, what more do you want? What more do you want? The way that I shipped Anthony and Lucy is crazy. I had such a fun time with this book. I loved George, and I also loved the skull, which comes from the second book. He get introduced from the second book. He is a character. He's the a ghost basically who is stuck in a jar, and he has this extremely crazy sense of humor. Oh, it is hilarious. He's going to make you laugh in most serious situations. It was just so refreshing. The entire series is so refreshing. And I remember coming back from work and just sitting down, even if you don't feel like reading anything, you pick up this series and immediately you are easily transported to this world of Lockwood and Co. And you don't want to leave this world. Trust me, it is so well done. It is so easily written. The world building is so easy to understand. No extra brain power you need to use to understand this series at all. And it is just a fun ride. It is just a fun time, and the ending of the entire series is also fantastic. Let me tell you the order in which you need to read this series. So the first book in the series is Lockwood and Co. The Streaming Staircase. The next is The Whispering Skull, in which the skull is introduced, and he is also one of my favorite characters. Okay, so this is the second book. The third book is The Hollow Boy. Next is The Creeping Shadow. This book is my favorite book, and look at the cover. It has Lucy in it. If you will notice, the first three books, they only have Anthony on the cover, but this book, Lucy, is on the cover as well, which was such refreshing difference. I loved it. And the last book is The Empty Grave. I am not someone who really annotates fantasy books. I just have a fun time with them. I don't really annotate, I don't really read them seriously, just like that. But I love the series so much right from the beginning that I started annotating it. I wrote down the thoughts, I underlined the funny moments that made me laugh, and just had such a fun time. I will put in a clip that will show you how much I annotated. Like I wrote so much in this book. My favorite book of the entire series is probably The Creeping Shadow and The Empty Grave. Both of these are my favorite, and trust me, when the series ended, like when I read the last book, when I read the last chapter, when I read the last line of this series, I was so sad that it came to an end. It felt like saying goodbye to such good friends, and it hurt me. It still hurts me, and I'm going to be so jealous of you all who are going to read this series for the first time ever. You guys do not have any idea what fun ride is waiting for you. So, please, please, please pick up this series, read it. I am pretty sure you're going to love it. I love it to bits, and I'm probably going to reread this real soon again from right from the first book. I put a little note at the end of the last book of the series saying that this series means everything to me. My heart feels heavy now that it has come to an end. I love it so much as I love Harry Potter. I'm going to miss all the characters so much. I absolutely loved the ending too. Everything about this series is perfect. Lucy, George, Lockwood, I'm going to miss you all so, so much. And Skull too, obviously. I just loved it. I just loved it. You don't understand. You don't understand my obsession with this series now. It is just so good. The stories, it is just so fast paced, and the stories are so good. Each of the case they go on, their friendship builds, and it is just so, it feels so good to watch their friendship grow, to see their understanding grow, their love for each other grow, and the story itself is just so refreshing and unique. I loved it. I loved it so much. Please, please pick up this series as soon as possible. It is my ardent request to you all. This is an official video of requesting you all, begging literally, to read this fantasy series. It's going to lift your mood. Also, if you are going through a reading slump, pick up this series. It is not going to disappoint you, and you're going to thank me later. I will be waiting. I will be just here waiting for all the thanks that is going to come in. I just want to thank Jonathan Stroud for writing this series, and I'm so excited to read more of his work because I know he writes funny. He writes funny stuff, and his sense of humor is something that matches my sense of humor. So I love it, and just thank you, Jonathan, for writing this amazing, fantastic series. I just hope with all my heart that I was able to convince you all to read this series. Please, please do pick up. And if you do, if you like it, do come back and tell me that you liked it or not. That, my dear, brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you are going to pick up this series real soon. Add it to your TBR right now. I'm not going to listen to any of your excuses. Just do it, okay? And thank you for being here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I love you all, and I will see you in another one. I'm not gone yet. You better read this series. I'm watching you.